The headline says, CeeDee Lamb extension. Cowboys can go full steam ahead on a new deal after Justin Jefferson reset wide receiver market. Side note, Jerry Jones wanted to see more leaves fall before working on extensions for his stars. ... I
just want to say, we have been saying this for the last 3 months.
Since the dawn of time. CanFan Nation, you know we've been saying this.
We've been saying that there was no chance in hell that CeeDee's agents and team were signing a deal before Justin Jefferson. The Cowboys should have thrown whatever they could have at CeeDee before Amon St. Brown and Justin Jefferson got signed. They should have offered 30, 31, 32.
I just don't think he would have. I don't think CeeDee Lamb would not have taken it, I don't think.
Well, they might have even. We don't know. They might have offered that, and they essentially, like we've been saying, his team was waiting for Justin Jefferson to get signed. And now he is, and AJ made the joke that we do our show on the Wednesday night, and it feels like breaking news always happens on Thursday. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow morning or Friday even, we wake up and CeeDee Lamb has been signed. Because right now, what is holding the Cowboys back from just being like, okay, we'll give you $33 million?
I want him to sit out and get a couple $100,000 in fines just to make him feel it.
But what's holding them back from doing that?
Nothing. Well, the only thing that I think actually might be holding back this contract right now is the guaranteed money, because that's the only thing that really stands out. We know whether or not it's 170 or 190. In reality, we're talking about, and that $10 million is not pocket change to us, okay? But it is pocket change in terms of the salary cap. It's a small amount, and for a player like CeeDee Lamb, it's like you're not letting him walk.
No, he's not. So people are like, trade him, trade his ass. No, it's not happening.
The signing is inevitable. I think where the holdup is, and I have nothing to back this up, but it's just the thing that stands out as what would be a fork in the road for both sides of this.
What did Jefferson get for guaranteed?
It's the guaranteed.
Does it show it?
It says $140 million deal with $110 million guaranteed.
So you're right. So CeeDee might want 115.
That's what the holdup I believe is the holdup is that guaranteed money. And the unfortunate thing is, you either have to pay him more, a significant amount more yearly, and drop that guaranteed, or you could increase the guarantee and then drop down or keep it at $140 million. I don't think we're going to.
So you might see like a $136 million for his 4 years, right? Which drops his yearly down, but then $115 million guaranteed.
Right. Well, and then the last 2 years.
Where is it? Do they look at it to say you're the highest paid wide receiver? Are they looking at the guarantee money? It's the total money. Yeah. So it has to be the total, and then it doesn't matter how it shakes
out. Do you think he's trying to become the highest paid?
He said he wanted to be the highest paid wide receiver. You can fact check it, but I'm pretty sure.
Like, do you guys? I'm asking us and don't get me wrong. Like, CeeDee Lamb to me was the best wide receiver in the NFL last year. Justin Jefferson, just in the same time frame, I'm looking strictly at the amount of games they've played and the seasons they've played. Justin Jefferson he doesn't have like one very good season. He has a bunch of really good seasons. Where CeeDee Lamb, 2022, CeeDee Lamb had a very good season also. 2023, CeeDee to me was the best receiver in the NFL, but still, he had one season like that. Does one season earn you the right to be the highest paid?
What you're not looking at CanFan logic. CanFan logic says every single year he's doing better. So
I love it, but does every single season that you've been doing better warrant you to be the highest paid at your position?
I think so.
Highest paid at your position. I want consistency. I want consistency as.
What have you done for me lately?
Well, I want 1,700 yards 2 seasons in a row, not just the one.
Doesn't.
What happens if next year you pay him this and he comes out and gets 1,100 yards and 6 touchdowns?
Look, I think there's also a little gun shy from the Cowboys with their Michael Gallup deal. Now, certainly not as much money, but they paid him for 4 years and didn't get a dime's worth out of him for that 4-year.
Are they stupid for doing that?
Not a dime's worth. In fact, it's costing us whatever it is, $9 or so million next year.
Even when that happened, so this is just to get off track because it's how we do, baby. When they signed the Michael Gallup contract, they had a decision to make. They had to either keep Amari Cooper and pay him $20 million or whatever it was the following season, or get rid of him, eat the money, and then re-sign Gallup to like a subpar contract.
Yeah.
You look back at that now, and maybe CeeDee Lamb doesn't grow the way he has and become that wide receiver that he is.
Yep.
But we were worried about paying Amari Cooper $20 million for a number one wide receiver who killed it in Cleveland the last couple years. That's what we were worried about. $20 million, and now we're talking about CeeDee Lamb making north of 33. You know what I mean? Like, it just seemed like a weird, unless there was, you hear rumors behind the scenes that he was a little bit of I'm not going to say cancer, but a little bit of a shyster.
Wasn't a team player.
So, but it's like you were worried about 20 million, and now you're pretty much about to pay CeeDee Lamb. I'm going to say they're going to give him probably 33.5 million a season.
When did we trade Cooper? Was it 2021?
2020, just before 2022.
Okay, so the 2022 salary.
Did he play for the Cowboys in 2020?
Let me see.
No.
Was last year the first year that he was?
He only played the one season that with the first season we started doing the show.
Yeah,
for 2020. Yeah.
Okay, 2021. So he was gone. That wasn't last year, eh?
That was March 16th, 2022. So it was going into the 2022 season.
That's right.
The 2022. So we've had significant cap increases. The 2022 cap was 208 million. It's now 255 million. So there's just one reason where that
you see the enlargement,
massive enlargement, and then next year is supposed to be roughly 273. So not to disagree with you, because you got to, every contract matters when you sign it within that year, because it's eating up that year's cap space. So you can't, like, if you do that every year, you're never really going to fully flush out your team, right? But it's wild to think that there's a $16 million, let's say, roughly difference between what was not acceptable in 2022 and now is like
the going rate.
This is the going rate.
The craziest thing about this is they decided to forego and trade Amari Cooper away because they wanted CeeDee Lamb to become that 88 and be that guy. Well, and now that he is, just pay him. Why fuck around? In my mind, why mess around with any of it? Just get him under contract. You're going to have to pay him either way. What happens now if one of these other sub-tier, like what happens if Jamar Chase, they extend Jamar Chase, and they extend Jamar Chase for like even roughly to say 34. CeeDee Lamb in my mind is better than Jamar Chase. Yeah. Now you have to pay him more than 34.
The question comes down is do you think I don't think CeeDee Lamb's side of the equation is worried at all. They're happy to just sit back and wait for a phone call from the Cowboys.
They have the leverage.
The leverage is in their hand, because all CeeDee has to do is come out and have just one of his average seasons, and he's going to get a significant contract from someone else. Someone will next year pay him $35 million a season.
Whatever. There's teams right now that would throw $35 million at him in a heartbeat.
Next year, it's just going to open it up even more. So I think that CeeDee Lamb is like in no rush. And anything that these players do, I believe, like, for example, Micah Parsons not going to OTAs, which is totally, completely different because they're voluntary. So it's not a major deal. But just, I think that a lot of that comes from your support team and them being like, look, there's no point to go out here and risk any injury. You have your system set up, you go work out. Same with CeeDee Lamb. It's like, there's no reason for us to rush this. We are the ones who are waiting for the offer, and then we're going to accept it or negotiate it with it. And that definitely could be going on. But the biggest hanging point here in my mind is that guaranteed money, and we'll see what that turns out to be. It's inevitable, and freaking knock on wood with me, gentlemen. It's inevitable that CeeDee Lamb gets signed before the season. It puts the whole Dak Prescott signing as well, which I don't want to entangle into this. But the Cowboys are backed into a corner a bit, especially when you add on next year's Micah Parsons deal as well.
They're the only team that gets in situations like this. I swear every other team has it figured out at this point. Every time, like, it's always been this way. They just never have it figured out at the right time. Like, and like you said, CeeDee Lamb's team has the leverage. Now that Justin Jefferson signed, they have the going rate. I just feel like get it done, get him into camp, and let's move on from the CeeDee Lamb. Because right now you're essentially talking about, we're only talking about CeeDee Lamb, but you have, like AJ just said, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons.
Do you think, okay, a question for Chad as well too here. Do you think that 4-year, $140 million deal for Justin Jefferson is a good deal?
Oh, great. Yeah, I do.
So if you think
well, you're not chat.
No, but
that's
sorry,
okay.
sorry,
Good to answer.
No. But I got the answer I'm looking for. So if that's a good deal for Justin Jefferson,
throw something similar.
Throw something similar. Add on, like what we were saying, $2 million, $142 million. Now you're the highest,
right?
And
at that point, does it matter? Just get him in, crack him if you got him.
Wilson Santiago says, "Don't forget Diggs as well."
Diggs is already signed though.
So I don't know if he was saying
Diggs
that
did
about
get
players.
no,
but
players
Diggs was
get
the big
money.
Yeah, and he deserved it.
But I think it's 2027 where Diggs becomes.
Oh yeah,
So
when
it's
in line, it's like you're in this perpetual nightmare of paying players. But you draft, and this is why the draft becomes so important, because every team's gonna have a handful, maybe not even a handful, but a couple top players that you're gonna have to pay all the time. The Cowboys, that just shows they're drafting. Micah Parsons, Trevon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, like those are all guys that the Dallas Cowboys drafted themselves.
Yeah.
Tyler Smith is going to be coming up eventually. Like Tyler Smith is only a couple years away.
I think he's 2028.
You're getting all these guys, and that's the downside of drafting so well, because you're gonna have to pay these motherfuckers.
I do like when you hear someone like Micah Parsons say, "Look, let CD get paid, let Dak get paid, and then I'll get my own." Like, that they're, as much as we like to talk about. I mean, all these players. When you look at the amount of money the teams in the NFL makes, and we're talking like, yes, you want to get as much money as you can.